So they saw Maya calling, Kim, Kim.
This is Creepy with Coffee.
Hi, this is Joachim, better known as Kim on Creepy with Coffee. First of all, I want to apologize that it took me some time for this new particular episode. It has been a busy month, I would say, instead of week in terms of my work. So now back with a little bit of free time. So I'm going to read you the story like I usually do for any other episode. And this one is posted by Vasclu2788, Malaysian ghost story. This was actually not this particular person's story, but her aunt's experience. They all grew up in Malaysia and they are Punjabi. For those who do not know, Punjabi is a class in Indian. I guess we call it a class. It's like how Chinese has Teochew, Hakka, Hokkien. For Indian, they have Punjabi. So this happened when the aunt, this person's aunt, was about 8 to 10 years old now. So she is 40 now. So I mean, I said that the story is about 30 years or so. The auntie and the sister, not the person's sister, the auntie's sister, which is another auntie, grew up in a state called Kedah. So for those who are not familiar with states in Malaysia, you can just Google it out. Kedah is another state. This state had big fields and a lot of land, mostly paddy fields. Usually, the auntie would always play in front of her house because the grandmother and also the mother would always tell her not to go too far off since she is still very young. So every evening, the head of the village, usually they call it penghulu or ketua kampung. So head of the village daughter would always park her bicycle by her auntie's house and would play with the auntie. And this head of village daughter is 19 years old. And let's call her Maya for the sake of story. She was extremely beautiful. Her skin was smooth and fair. And obviously with that kind of complexion and beauty, she is envied by a lot of ladies. And obviously a lot of guys were crazy about her. So every day, my aunt and the other aunt, which is a sister, who was 4 at that time, was waiting in front of the house for this Maya to come back from work. I guess they usually would wait for her to come back from work so that they can play together. Since she works in the factory and there had been a delay because the auntie is waiting for this person called Maya, I guess she is late lah. So when she was late, so the auntie they thought Maya's shift got extended. But then the thing is, the evening before that, Maya left her bicycle near the auntie's house. So meaning I said that now the auntie and the other auntie, which is one at 9 years old, the other one is 4 years old, were waiting for this lady called Maya. Maya did not show up, so they thought she got held back because of work. But then she left her bicycle the night before, so the bicycle is still at their house. So the auntie and the sister sneakily went for a ride, but the grandmother warned them not to be too far off and not to be too late. So they went around to play with the bicycle and they were having a great time. So in front of the place that they play, there is a field of corn and tall grass. All of a sudden, the auntie saw Maya. Remember the Maya that they were waiting for? They spotted Maya wearing an all-white gown in between the grass, calling my aunt's name. So you just imagine you were cycling and you were going around and suddenly you saw the person standing in the middle of the grass calling your name. For the sake of the story, let's say my name. So Kim. So they saw Maya calling Kim, Kim. Okay, the waving part I'm not sure. It was not mentioned, but I'm just putting that in. The aunt obviously at that point was happy because they were expecting Maya. But immediately or quickly after that, she felt uneasy. She knew something was off. She knew something was wrong. Maya looked very pale and her smile was horrifying. So the aunt quickly grabbed the sister and cycled off back to, I guess, their home as fast as she could. While she was cycling, she caught a glimpse of Maya still staring at them. When she reached home, she felt extremely tired, and the next day, both of them, the auntie and also the sister, which is the other auntie, got a terrible bad fever. That is when the family saw the head of village and a few other villagers passing by. So they asked, actually, what happened to Maya? And then he said in a sad voice, she passed away. Immediately, the family members got goosebumps and chills all over. So the auntie actually explained that she saw Maya yesterday. And then that is when the head of the village said, impossible, we buried her yesterday afternoon. So meaning to say that the person that they saw in the field is not Maya. The sad case here is actually the grandparents or the auntie's grandparents actually asked the head of the village what happened. He actually said somebody poisoned Maya's food because they are jealous of her beauty. So the takeaway from this story is next time you see somebody waving at you in the field out of nowhere and you feel uneasy, don't go there. Until the next episode, you're listening to Creepy with Coffee.